Welcome back, everybody. It is morning on the Bout Du Monde. The plan was to keep on spraying, but we really have to go take care of the animals, and I just see the message that that bunker silo is done fermenting, so we can finally give our cows some TMR, which, actually, we're going to need our tractor for, so let's run back to our house and bring the tractor back up there. Didn't mean to leave you down here, Fritz. Sorry about that, but we'll have to... Oh, my goodness, Doesn't that look like the ugliest thing in the world? Every time I put those wheels on the tractor, it just looks so stinking ugly. Oh, it's like, I think it wouldn't be quite as bad if they took the wide fender off there and the little narrow tire. Anyway, it's oh man. I think part of my aversion to that is, I can't remember if I talked about this in the last episode, but in the U.S., whoops, I did not mean to hit spacebar there. In the U.S., tractors have row crop tires, and generally I never see, well, not in the U.S., I should say in the Midwest, in a part of the Midwest that I live in, we don't have cereal crops. So when we spray, you either come out with a big sprayer, or if you're using your own tractor, the row crop tires are perfectly spaced for 30-inch rows, so you don't have to put special tires on there because you're not destroying crops because they are in between the row anyway. You only destroy crops when you turn around in the end rows, and I think I already covered that in one of my earlier spraying videos. As long as you're not breaking over the stalk, snapping that stalk when it's smaller, you're not killing the actual crop. It might stun its growth a little bit, but it'll spring right back up. So yeah, that's right. We don't have manually attaching. Okay, there we go. So let's try to see if we can do this. What are we going to do? We're going to clean up the cows first, I think, and maybe, yeah, we'll clean up the cows first and maybe give them straw first, and then we'll figure out this whole silage TMR thing. I do have that awesome mod up there that actually I've never had a chance to use. The quick draw mod, I think it's called. As you see, it gives you the capacity and the mixing ratios outside of the mixer, so you don't have to climb into the tractor just to see the mixing ratios. So let's not go backwards into the wall. We will head on over and we'll park this right next to the silage pit. And, well, actually, take that back. We'll get the silage last, so that way we can make sure our ratios are correct. Let's just back this up into... Oh, boy. We'll back this up into the shed if I'm not... Yeah, I'm not hitting anything. Okay, there we go. Right? That's good. Yeah? Yeah? Where's the... Okay. I was a little nervous there. I didn't see Evelyn. I was a little bit nervous we ran into Evelyn. So let's just park it right there, and hopefully Evelyn can... Yeah, that should be enough room for Evelyn to get around. Okay, so we will hop in Evelyn while... Do I have the bale spike? I thought I still had the bale spike. Guess not. So let's go hook up the bale spike. We'll drop in a bale of straw first. Whoops. Forward. Hello. We'll drop in a bale of straw. Oh, this is going to be hard to do from... Yeah... I would love to be able to do everything from inside the cab, but you just don't have any depth perception. I know someone, what was it? I think someone, Zim, on my Growly server, it's our server. Actually, he does more work than me and TCAP on that server, so if you haven't checked out that series, I will be doing an update on that on Monday. Anyway, yeah, he made mention of a mod that is only first person. The square bales are a little bit older. We'll use them first. Anyway, he made mention of a mod that is only first person, and I love the idea of that, but I just have such a big problem with depth perception and bale handling inside a tractor. I don't know how you do that with only first person. Anyway, let's get out of here, and we'll leave the... Yeah, we're going to leave the bale fork over here. We'll go grab the scoop. We will clean out the cow pit, actually. We'll clean up that dirt area while we are right in front of it. And then we'll go grab silage with the bucket. I think that's as good a plan as any. That's what... Reminds me of my wife's grandpa. Whenever we play cards, Pinochle is his game. Pinochle is actually a really fun card game for those that don't know. But anyway, we always played cards, and when I was first learning the game, I was like, I'll just play this card. And then he's like, oh, it sounds like good as plan as any. Anyway, sorry for that aside. That's just what I think of whenever I say that statement. So try out Pinochle if you haven't ever before, and if you're looking for a card game to play. It's actually really, I like it a lot because it seems to mix luck, but also a good amount of bluffing and skill, more so than poker. There's a lot more, I don't know, is skill the right word? There's a lot more thinking involved than just a simple game of poker. So yeah, let's stop talking about cards, and we will drop. Nope, we're going to keep the bucket. I almost forgot what I said I was going to do. We're going to keep the bucket. We're going to go fill up with some silage. And, oh yeah, oh wait, that's a pit that we never, oh, that's right, we never started compacting that one. I mean, fermenting that one. Okay, so let's get out. Okay, we're going to get our head on straight here. We are going to blanket this silo because we sold off all of our grass equipment in preparation for moving to the West Coast. So excited. Anyway, let's finish up with Bout Du Monde. So open up the silo. We'll just open up part of it. That should be enough for now. Let's go grab Fritz and bring him on over. And let's see, what else was I going to talk about? So speaking of the West Coast, I know a lot of people want an older tractor on the West Coast, but I still might do an older tractor. I was thinking more about it, and I think that I might actually get a slightly bigger tractor because I was thinking about simulating my brother coming out to help during times of harvest and, you know, maybe in the planting. So maybe if we pay him a small fee or something like that, we can get him out there for the harvest into the beautiful UK. And so I was thinking about using Courseplay for that, and that would mean having a second bigger tractor for times like that. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I can either go that route, or I can keep doing everything manually all by myself, pretending that nobody is here to help poor old me, and it is just me all by myself. So let me know which way you want me to go. Why aren't I picking anything up? I also wanted to say that I think it'll be fun. You know, we're farming realistically. I play realistically, or as much as possible at least, but I do a very poor job managing finances. You know, finances and spreadsheets and planning like that is a huge part of farming in real life, and I want to start tracking a spreadsheet for my expenses. The simplest way to do it, you know, there's a couple different ways I can do it, so give me feedback on this. I can either track my annual debt to equity ratio, right? So at the end of the year, at the end of every year that I'm on the West Coast, and, you know, we'll do an initial assessment when we get there, but I can either add up my debt and then add up my, let's do another scoop of silage just to fill that up a little bit more. Actually, I don't know how much more full we can get it. So let's finish a thought. I can either just at the end of the year add up, okay, here's my debt, here is my equity based on my land that I own, and I'll just, for simplicity, I will use the purchase price of the land by default, because that's what I will say I bought it all at. So don't want to get the top mix. Okay, there we go. So I think that's close enough. We'll just leave that right there. I think that's just about full. Anyway, I don't think we could put too much more in there. Yeah, look at that. 98%? It's kind of small down there on the screen. Yeah, doing that doesn't help look any more in the corner. Okay, let's just go around here. So let's try to finish this thought. If I just calculate my debt and equity, and then that way every year we have a rough indicator of whether or not our farm is profitable, But the problem with that is we don't have any idea where we are losing money or gaining money. And to get a better idea of that, we would basically have to track expenses in every yeah, that whole depth perception thing I was talking about, it's for tractors too. It's I thought I was clear of that. Anyway, I do drive a tractor in real life, guys. I've never had any accidents, believe it or not. I did get stuck in the middle of the field once. Anyway, and always forget what button it is, and I always forget to attach the PTO, and now I am stuck because I can't jump. Okay, we'll get this here. We'll put the tractor at an angle. Now I can get out. We'll run around this way, attach the PTO, get back in, and finish a thought for once. So, that thought being, it'd be great if I was able to track every expense category. Actually, you know what? Someone should write a script for that. If, to output every expense category in a, XML file or something like that. Something that you could just copy and paste into Excel or a Google Doc and get the accurate, data, so that you'd have data for every day out of the year instead of just the last 3 days, because you lose all that stuff anyway. So I don't think I'll probably do that, because that could be really time consuming unless one of you guys wanted to help me out. I was thinking if I take a screenshot or if I pause the video on that expense tracker here while we're filling up, let's look at that real quick. So if I pause the video on not statistics, finances, so I could do a pause there, and then I could do that for a couple seconds, and then I could timestamp those. I don't know if you've seen my timestamps in my tutorials, in my most recent tutorial, but I could timestamp it so you could just click on it right away and pause the video. And if someone would want to transcribe that for every day, or yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of work for anybody to do. I don't think I'll do it myself. That's a lot. I mean, it wouldn't really have to be every day. It could just be, as long as these categories get in the book. So you could do, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all of Wednesday's happened. So you could do all of those days. And then just remember you left off on Wednesday. And the next time I screenshot it, it'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that kind of thing. I love statistics. I think that's probably why I like baseball so much. I just turned off our tractor. So, wow, we almost emptied out all of that. Let's actually look at the cows real quick, because I think this is just about the most, probably some of the highest productivity that we have had. They're almost out of water, but that's fine. It's probably some of the highest productivity that we have had of the cows. This is exciting. And our milk tank is filling up, so we're going to have to take milk again some more. Anyway, that is excellent. Oh, I forgot what was the straw level. Okay, so they're doing great on straw. They just need water. Water we can do. We'll do water with this ugly tractor. So we will leave. Yeah. Where should we park this? You know what? The water trailer's up here. Let's just park it right here. I know it's not really covered, but rain is not really expected. I think I always do that. Okay. So I don't think rain's not expected. You can see the forecast there. Let's just leave it outside to save a little time. We'll fill the cows up with water, and then we'll get back to spraying. We'll finish up the spraying, and then there's not too much left to do before harvest. So I don't know. The next time you see, and I know I said this at the end of last video, the next time you see me, it might be harvest time, but we'll see. If I feel like there's not a lot to do between now and harvest, I'll just fast forward to harvest. So I don't think there is much more other than just spraying and other than just spraying and animal upkeep. So since we only have cows, look at that. Doesn't that just look so ugly? I hate those ugly, narrow wheels. Yes, I know they're a necessity for spraying in cereal crops, but doesn't mean that they're not ugly. All right. Well, yeah, where are we going to go? I always forget where that water tank is. That's right. I think we're going to get it right for once. We're going to go around here and then head up a little bit. And where is it? Right there. Yeah. So here we go. Approach it from this side. Get really close. We got this. Oh, there it is. I hit the brake in time. All right. We are filling up with water. And I hope this is enough water. It's definitely all that we will give them for now. I'm not going to fill this up and make another trip. Yeah, okay, well, maybe I should. What do you think? Let's just wait to see what level we're at. That's a decent amount. I think that we should probably get them a little more water. I don't want to have to do this in the middle of harvest or in the middle of spraying or, don't want any cows to die. And I just remembered that I think we left the other gate open. I was only going to be in here a second, but then, of course, I need more water. I think I can fill up down here, although I don't think I've ever filled up from down here. So let's figure this out. I think you can. So we'll hop in here. Yeah, it looks like there's a path right there. Maybe? Is that a path? There we go. Yeah, let's do it. Let's try it out. All right. Anyway, yeah, about that Excel spreadsheet thing, I don't know. If someone's really excited about statistics and data tracking like I am, I would welcome someone to, be my little scribe or something like that. But, we can maybe figure out a better way of doing it, too. It doesn't have to be the way that I suggested. I feel like I'm winding back and forth and back and forth. And there we go. We're filling up. But, I know that's a lot to ask of anybody, so wrong way. I know that's a lot to ask of anybody, so, I'm only asking if someone's enthusiastic about something like that. Otherwise, I do like statistics, but I think we'll just stick with the minimal time-consuming version of, I'll just do an annual report of base asset minus debt. And, of course, I'll include cash in there on the positive side, so the positive assets will be cash, and then we'll calculate land, and then, of course, whatever equipment value we have. And we'll add those up, and we'll subtract the debt, and then we'll compare that to the previous year, and we'll see how much we have grown or hopefully not gone backwards. I think it'd be really interesting if I would have done that at the start of this map, but I don't even remember what I started with, if I gave myself money or... Oh, I kind of had some lag there. That's interesting. Never seen lag before on this map. Anyway. Close the gate there. And all that extra money that we have is from selling off all that equipment that I mentioned. The bale equipment, the mower, stuff like that we're not going to need. And if you remember from when I was showing my expenses screen, my daily vehicle expenses went down a lot. That's why, and I think I did it again. That's not the water tank. Every single time I drive right past that thing. And we know from experience, it does not work if you go that way. So let's head around this way and avoid the cows and go in there. All right. So we will try to run right through the branch and right there, hit the water. That is the best way. Run through the branch and hit the water button. Okay, so I also wanted to talk about, did I talk about? Yeah, that's right. I talked about Courseplay and possibly doing a bigger tractor. I know that's kind of the opposite way of what some people wanted. They wanted me to get a smaller tractor, and I still might do a smaller tractor. I do think I'm definitely going to buy a pickup truck, because if I ever expand into cows, I'm going to have the cows up there on the, the mountain something farm, and then I'll have my main farm down at Little Woolhope or Hill Ridge. I think I've decided on Little Woolhope, but anyway, I'm going to want a truck to transfer back and forth quickly between, I'll probably leave a tractor up there that's smaller for the cows, and then So that way I'm not having to put run hours on my tractors just for ferrying myself all over the place. I'll just take my pickup truck instead. And I think that is a good plan. And, it would also be more realistic than running across the map from point A to point B. Farmers have trucks and they take their pickup trucks places. But, I don't know, I have seen some videos of people commuting to work in a tractor. But I think that is generally not normal. Generally not normal. Is that the right way to... Oh, my goodness, look at those wheels. Isn't that just disgusting? Look at that. Isn't that the most disgusting thing in the world? Those little tiny wheels on a big, huge, awesome Fritz. It just does not look right. I'll never be able to get over that. And like I said, it's probably more because I never, ever see that in real life in the Midwest. But we will... stop talking about how ugly that is, because we're going to have to use it with Fritz by spraying. Actually, I'm tempted. I don't know which way is more realistic because the game doesn't simulate it properly. And by that, I mean the wheel lanes, fruit destruction. So is it more realistic to put the narrow tires on and then not destroy anything when I spray the field? Which is not realistic, right? Even if your tires are narrow, you're still going to be destroying crops when you spray the fields. Hence the wheel lanes you always see in wheat fields or any type of cereal crop. Or is it more realistic to just, I don't know, put the narrow tires on, because they typically do use narrow tires when they go to spray through fields, right? At least I'm assuming that, because that, I don't know. I've never actually... seen that in real life, like I said. So, yeah, I'm not sure which way is more realistic. Narrow tires and non-destruction of the crops with the fruit destruction mod, or just leaving the big tires on there, because in real life you would be mashing down wheel lanes anyway. So, I know that there is a Proceed mod? Man, that traffic goes fast. The Proceed mod allows you to actually put in wheel lanes. So that could actually be something I could do myself, and then you could still use the narrow tires and drive the wheel lanes, and that's kind of simulating realism there. That's probably the best way to do it. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Be sure to leave comments. I like feedback. So right now, as you see, we are low on spray. We're going to the store. We are going to fill up with spray. And then we are going to fertilize field 15, I believe. It is the very first field I planted on this map. It's a nice little field. It is actually right there to the right. That is the way that we are going to go. But first, you know what? I just lagged again. That is weird. For those that don't know, I'm running an overclocked i7, the 7th generation, whatever combination of numbers that is, it's a 77707, whatever those numbers are. I sound really ignorant, but it's an i7, and it's a custom build. I built it myself. I have a 1080 Ti in there as well, so I should definitely not be experiencing any lag at all. If it keeps happening, I might pause and take a look to make sure nothing's running in the background, but I don't know. It could just be the map. I don't remember lag at those spots ever on this map, but you never know. Okay, here we are at the store, and we're gonna fill up with fertilizer, liquid fertilizer. And last time I had the wrong tank selected, but we are good now. I thought about just buying the front tank, but I don't think so. I think this should get us through that one field. Let me look real quick. I forget. Okay, so the rest of the fields we can't fertilize. Those are fertilized from the planter. We cannot fertilize them yet because they have not... I guess maybe... that we don't own that field. So yeah, the rest of these we can't fertilize because they are still in the first growth stage, because we planted them corn and we planted them stupid early because I'm stupid. And if you're new to the series, it was because, or at least this is the excuse I use, I farm in real life and I plant corn and soybeans. And when you can plant one type of crop, because we only plant those 2 crops, you can plant everything. So early in this series, I planted the wheat, right, because it was ready to plant. It was 5 degrees Celsius, and you can plant wheat and it'll germinate then. But corn does not germinate until 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 10 degrees Celsius apparently. And I failed to remember that because I'm so used to, if you can plant one thing, you can plant anything. Typically you try to get the corn in the ground first in real life in Illinois. And, corn needs as much sun as possible. You want to get it germinating and sprouted. But again, obviously you don't want it sitting in the ground when the ground is cold and below 50, because then it can rot and spoil and have disease and all kinds of bad stuff. So, but anyway, once you plant corn, then you follow that with soybeans, and then you're done, right? So I was so used to, like, hey, I got out there, I was planting wheat, I was feeling good, the days were sunny, and then I finished my wheat and barley planting, and I went on straight to corn, and I planted, I think, all the cornfields, and then I realized, hey, it's not even 7 or 8 degrees yet, so that was kind of dumb. That would not be good in real life. I feel like people that watch this series don't believe me. You know what? I just had a lag again. I've never had any lag on this map ever. It's probably something stupid with Windows. Anyway, we'll just ignore that for now. It's not happening very much. Yeah, as I was saying, I feel like people in this series who don't know me in real life probably think I'm lying when I say that I farm in real life because of all the stupid things I do. I do try to farm as realistic as possible, but you know what? Sometimes you just make mistakes, like unfolding the sprayer into a tree. Let's do the end rows first. We'll back up here. This would be ugly if I would be destroying crops right now, but kind of got to get it square at some point anyway, so let's start spraying. Oops. Why didn't I spray? Oh, you'd think that I would remember that, but I don't. I always forget things. Okay, so let's spray, and let's, we will go to, oh, I guess I don't have the, okay, so I won't maximize the view. I forgot to enable that in developer controls. We will stop there, and we'll turn, actually, and we'll start out at the end. And maybe I should head over and do a time-lapse right now. I think that this field is big enough for a time-lapse, and I'm not really sure what else to say. If you can believe it, sometimes I do stop talking. So actually, we need to get lined up better with the edge a little bit. But I've learned a few things from the time-lapse last series where I'm not going to move the camera. I will try to zoom out and keep the same spot. Right, yeah, that's probably pretty good like that, right? Yeah, so I hope that you enjoy this little time-lapse. See you on the other side. All right, that takes care of all the spraying of the cereal crops, and unfortunately we cannot do a whole lot else until we germinate, which, since we are doing 9-day seasons, we're not going to get another growth stage until, what is that, 0-3. Yeah, day 3. At the end of day 3, it will grow again. So actually, I think that will probably just about conclude this episode. I think that off screen I will fast forward until I believe the next growth stage we will have some crops ready to harvest and also some more crops ready to spray, right? Because the corn will have germinated. So, well, let's slow down there. So 1 second. Let me make sure we are not going to die. And let's go to the store. We'll buy more fertilizer first. And then we'll park it back at home next to Bessie. Actually, no. Maybe we should go over to the ETA and park it, because we'll need to bring the tipper home if we... No. We'll want to spray first and then go get the tipper. Yeah, so... Okay, so I think we got a plan now. So maybe I should just park at the store? Well, no, that's not realistic, because then we'll have to run all the way across the map to get Fritz again. So we'll fill up. We will park this over at the ETA or home. What should I do? The ETA or home. I hate decisions. ETA or home. If I park it at the ETA, well, yeah, I can't do the ETA because then I'd have to again run across the map and then when I log back on. So we will fill up and we'll park this at home. The very first thing I will do is spray the corn. I may or may not do that off screen. Like I say, you never know what you're gonna get. I do capture most of the stuff on screen, so I don't know. Maybe I should do that all on screen. But I'm really itching to harvest, and I really want to make sure this map is in a state where it's easy to run away from it as soon as I get the go-ahead to put out more episodes on the West Coast when that map releases. So, yeah, I definitely want to make sure that we are harvesting and, you know, getting the crops in and ready to jet off to the West Coast as soon as possible. So I will most likely skip that fertilizing of the corn and soybeans and we'll just do the harvesting on screen. Whoops, sorry, buddy. I am really looking forward, and I don't even know why I'm going this way. I am really looking forward to harvesting. Harvesting is my favorite part in real life. It's my favorite part in the game. You know, the buddy that I used to play this game with before I started doing this series all by myself, and I joke with them, he's the reason that made me do YouTube, because he didn't play Farming Simulator with me anymore. But anyway, it's he hated driving the combine, but I could sit there all day long and drive the combine in the game and in real life. I love it equally, and I don't know, it takes a certain type of person. You know, I took my wife out there on the combine, and well, it's actually kind of funny because she's allergic my wife is allergic to corn, right? And I grew up on a corn and soybeans farm. So funny story, the very first time I took her out to the combine, I was showing her all of our machinery. It's like, isn't this awesome? Like, and then I started up the combine and I told her to take a deep breath, because that smell, if you've ever been in an old combine that's been through the field several seasons, right? It's like the best smell in the world when you start. It's like this, it doesn't smell like mold or must. It smells like this awesome corn smell. I don't know. That's the best I can describe it. Anyway, it smells so good, but I just associated it with harvest and I called it the combine smell, right? And anybody who has been on a combine, I'm sure, knows what I'm talking about. It's the combine smell. When you first turn it on and you get the ventilation going, especially on older combines where the ventilation isn't quite as filtered. So I turned it on, and she was like, I can't. Why is it so hard to breathe? It's like, isn't that smell great, honey? Like, isn't that awesome? Like, I can't breathe. Like, it's so hard to breathe. And then eventually, like, we looked at each other. It was like, oh, yeah, the corn. So apparently she's really allergic to corn dust, and even when we go home to Illinois in the fall, when we drive past the grain elevator, we have to turn off the AC, and she holds her breath the whole time because it's just, the corn dust is pretty bad. So anyway, she has driven the combine before with a respirator, but the whole point is she went, I think, 2 rounds with me, and then she was like, I'm done. How can you do this all day long? Isn't it boring going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth? And I don't know. It's, for some people, it is not boring. I don't know why, but it's just the fascination of seeing the crops getting taken in by the combine is so, I don't know. It's, I could stare at that all day. And indeed, when I was a little kid, I remember when Dad was in the field, I used to throw down my books. I never did any homework. I ran out to the field to wherever he was at as soon as possible so that I could spend as much time staring out the front of that combine watching the corn get shucked. That's what you call corn, shucking corn. It's just, I don't know, it's so fascinating, and it's mesmerizing to me. So the whole point of that was to say that it definitely takes a certain type of person to be a farmer. Some people think it's incredibly boring, going back and forth in the field in real life, an endless amount of times it feels sometimes. But it is also, I don't know, I love dirt, I love dust, I love working ground, I don't know, it's just so much fun in real life. I never get bored of it. But then again, I don't have 2,000 acres in real life, so maybe if I did, I might get bored of it at that point. But anyway, I think that just about does it for this episode. So we will, you know what, we should, just in case the wife comes home, we should probably park this a little bit more out of the way, just to make it a little bit easier. Man, I don't know why anybody has chickens close to their house, because that noise is really annoying. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm really excited about where this series is going to the West Coast. We're definitely taking Fritz with us and Bessie, and I can't wait to get started over there, but we got a lot of work to do left on Bout Du Monde first. So until next time, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you liked anything, if you wanted to comment on anything, if you want me to do anything differently, I try to listen to you guys, so please leave comments and give me a thumb if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks again, and until next time, bye-bye.